Make some money off them. Make some money off those dogs.
Oh yeah, it's stunning too.
They posted cake on that speed off.
Okay. For those of you who are absent, this is what you're going to have to watch for your quiz on Wednesday. The Wednesday quiz is going to be the last thing on the report card. And there are no quizzes for the re-quizzes for the honors kids. So today, Monday, we are going over this. Tuesday, y'all know you have college class. Wednesday's the quiz. Tomorrow after college class, I don't mind reteaching this to you, but I mean, you may watch this and absolutely get it. That's great. And then Wednesday also, you'll turn in your binder just so I could see that your table of contents is in order and you got all your assignments. Okay, so first off, we're going over, and on your quiz on Wednesday, this note sheet, which is 512, anything on this note sheet is fair game, although when we go over this, I'm going to tell you, cross that off, you're not going to be quizzed on it. And then the worksheet, it's hyperlinked to my Google Classroom, you can pull it up. Any of that is fair game too. Okay, so turn to the front sheet. Okay, so the quantum mechanical model of electrons within an atom says we cannot pinpoint where an electron is, but we can get a probability of where electron is. Electron configuration shows how electrons are distributed within an atom. So remember, we don't know exactly where they are because they keep on moving. That's why they call it the cloud. But we can predict how far they are away from the nucleus. Okay, and this is through these principal energy levels. So if this is the nucleus, I'm just gonna draw a dark center, that way I have room, okay? And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This should be very similar to what's on your note sheet, okay? So I could ask you to redraw this. And label the principal energy levels. So first off, we're talking about, and they're gonna say like principal energy levels, orbitals, suborbitals. I know they get confusing, so I'm gonna make some notes. So the first thing is principal energy levels are n equals 1, 2, 3, etc. So if this is our nucleus, our principal energy levels, we're gonna write n equals 1, n equals 2, n equals 3, n equals 4, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna make note of over here is n energy levels. So the energy levels equals the n 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so when we talk about energy levels, we're talking about the N levels, okay? By the way, this is ready to go for your test tomorrow with Dr. Odom, so don't unplug anything or do anything. Mr. Odom. Okay, up here. So, you will also be asked where the electrons have the most energy. Is it lower N levels or higher N levels? So who has the most energy?
Probably be
Lower? What was lower down? Okay, so the greater number, and what was the example I said? If the nucleus is the parent, these kids are gonna be walking next to the parent, low energy. I can't do anything because my mom's right there. But these guys, they're far away. They're energetic, they can do, well, they're trying to do what they want. So these electrons are low energy, these are high energy, and these valence electrons, the ones on the outer, that makes sense that they have higher energy because they're gonna be the ones that want to go out and bond, okay? Okay, so all of those are testable. So I could ask you to fill this in, and I could also ask you, tell me about the energy in n equals 1 versus n equals 4, okay? So those are good quiz questions. Okay, within each of these principal energy levels, there are sublevels. They correspond to different areas of the electron that the electrons can be. So now, number 1, we have energy levels, n's, and then 2, each energy level has sublevels. But we only talk about SPDF. So that's what we're talking about. Spidey Feist, Spidey Feist. Okay, so technically if I wanted to, I could say, okay, we have n equals 1, and that's going to have SPDF. And then here's n equals 2, SPDF. This is another energy level, SPDF. Here's another energy level, SPDF. This is not going to stay true, but technically they're telling us each of these can have sublevels. Okay. Now, they tell us on the bottom of our notes, each sublevel has different types of shapes. I'm not really trying to quiz you on the shapes, but you do have to know that, like, as you get more intricate, SPDF, the first one, the easiest one, the least intricate one is the easiest shape, okay? So S, and I'm gonna erase this, but I'll just put it here now so people on the video can see. SPDF, okay? This is just spherical, one circle. And then to draw something that has two spheres is kind of like an infinity, so like 2 circles, and we just double. 1, 2, 4. Okay. Questionable, call this a clover and then a double clover. So you do your, and then it's almost like it's 4 more. I'm deciding that I am not going to quiz you on this too, but just know, as you get more intricate, as you have more of these levels, more electrons are going to come in, you have to build more space for them to orbit. So that's what our notes are telling us, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to put this on the quiz. Okay, backside. Now this is where we're going to start having to conceptualize what are these spaces for? How do they fill in electrons? Okay, so y'all see that first table, it says types of sublevels in each level. Types of sublevels in each level. We are going to get back to that one. We're going to skip to the one underneath it.
Does that mean that your board up there, N1 equals S?
That's why we're skipping. Yeah, that's why we're skipping. So let's just go to the next one. Each sublevel is oriented differently, 3D space, called atomic orbitals. Atomic orbitals hold only 2 electrons. Okay, so now, we have these energy levels, these principal energy levels. Each of the energy levels can have sublevels. SPDF, 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 SPDF. And remember, our notes did say that they could go on, but I told you, you're only gonna learn the first 4 with me, and in college, really, you only learn the first 4. Okay. So we have sublevels. Sublevels have odd orbitals. So this is where we said Spidey Feist is odd. So S, P, D, F, this is where the orbitals come in and they're odd. 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay. So also it told us in this same unit, they have odd orbitals, and orbitals hold 2 electrons each. Okay, so if this is an orbital or space to fill, 2 electrons are going to fill it. Okay, and that's for the S. I'm going to spread this out. So if we have S, P, D, F. Let me make sure we're just still on the video frame. Yep. Okay. If we're in the video frame, we're in these orbitals, okay. S has 1 orbital, so it has 1 opening for 2 electrons to come in. So the total for S to hold is ever just 2, okay. P, the next odd, 3, has 3 orbitals. We just said it has room for 2 electrons per orbital. So it has a total of 6. D has 5. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then F has 7. And as you can see, 1, 3, 5, 7. I'm just going next odd number. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay. So, now we're gonna go back up to the previous. So right now, we just covered this right here. We have orbitals, sublevels had odd orbitals, and then in parentheses, I'm gonna write each orbital holds 2 E minus electrons. Okay, so pretty much that's all the notes we need to know. We need to know, okay, you got these principal energy levels, but they all have these sublevels, and then the sublevels have orbitals in them. Okay, so going back up to this top table, this is where it's all gonna make sense. Okay, so N1, our first energy level, okay, and ours only can handle one sublevel. So what is the first sublevel? It's just S, okay? So we don't have a P, we don't have a D, and we don't have an F, okay? And 2 can hold 2, S and P. No D, no F. And 3 can hold 3, 1, 2, 3, no F. And 4 can hold all 4. Okay, so I'm getting down to this bottom one, but I'm gonna just go slow at our own pace. Okay, so if we just said S and every orbital can only hold 2 electrons. If N1 only has an S orbital, okay, how many total electrons can be in N1 if it only has an S? 2, good. So this is how you write it. In chemistry, the notation, so if you're telling me you can only have an S, you say what is the principal energy level and what sublevel does it hold? 1s, okay? And how many are in just the 1s? 2 total electrons, good. And y'all, that makes sense because remember when we talked about like really easy diagrams? So here's the nucleus. Remember we said it holds 2, then 8, and then I kind of lied to you and just said 8 again because that's what the next energy level holds. Okay, this is where we get 2. So only 2 electrons can be in that first shell. Good deal. Okay, let's move to the next one. How many are in S again? How many electrons? 2. How many electrons are in P? 6 plus 6. So the second shell holds a total of 2 plus 6. So when I'm writing it, it's going to be 2s, 2p, and that total is 8. So that's where we get the 2, the 8. Now, I'm moseying over here to the periodic table. Y'all, look at radon, number 86. This is the perfect example. 2, 8, 18, 32. This is the perfect model of how things add. Ready? I'm coming back over here. Now let's do N3. So this has a 3s, a 3p, and a 3d. Okay, s's hold 2, plus p's hold 6, plus d's hold 10. 2 plus 6 was 10? 18. Good. Now we're in the last one. 4s, 4p, 4d, 4f. 2 plus 6 plus 10 plus 14, 32. Okay. So that's where we get this table up here. Okay?
So the 1s, 2p, 3, whatever, that just denotes what energy level it's in?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And remember how in the video she says, oh, we lied to you, and then we learn more. In the next unit, we're going to learn even more onto this, but right now, this is the bare minimum that we have to start memorizing and understanding. Okay. That spells out anything that's on here, okay? So anything on here is fair game for this quiz on Wednesday. Now we're going to get to the worksheet, which is now going to have us like look at these and then call out how many electrons are in this energy level, or here. If I ask you to do that on the quiz, there will be a previous question where it's all going to be spelled out. Okay. Here's the worksheet. Those of y'all who are missing, you can come get it for me tomorrow. You can do it with me tomorrow. You can pull it up on the Google Classroom and just fill it in as you go, just online. Okay, so let's talk about the first 3 questions. These are fill-ins. Are there going to be fill-ins on the quiz? The only fill-in that I really like is the one about the electron's energy. So, and that is one of these. So, let's go over these. Number 1, what are the principal energy levels and what do they represent? So, energy levels are the N. So the principal energy level are the N levels. What did we say the N levels represent? How far?
The electrons are from the nucleus.
Good. How far the electrons are from the nucleus. The average distance an electron is from the nucleus. If we say something's in N1, we know it's got to be in an S orbital. If we say there's an N4, then we know we can do 4, S, P, D, F. It could get all the way to the F. How far an electron is from the nucleus. Okay. Number 2, draw the shapes of each of the following types of sublevels. Real quickly, just draw them. But remember, S is a circle, P is an infinity sign, D is a cross infinity sign, and F is the clover cross, just doubled up, excuse me. So it should be 1 circle, 2 circles, 4 circles, 8 circles. Good. And just label them S, P, D, F. The easiest one should be S. Then the next one is P, then D, then F. Good. So just label S, P, D, F. Good. Okay, number 3. What is an atomic orbital? What is the maximum number of electrons that can occupy an orbital? So what is an atomic orbital? What do y'all think it is? So this is an orbital. What would you say that this is? It's just a 3D space. Okay. So what is an atomic orbital? It's a 3D space or a 3D orientation that holds a maximum, that holds up to 2 electrons. So it's a 3D space that holds up to 2 electrons. A 3D space. Okay, does anybody need me to repeat anything from 1 to 3?
So what would the atomic orbitals would be S, P, D, F?
1 S, 1 for the S, 3 for the P, 5 for the D, 7 for the F. Yep.
So that's how many orbitals are within that?
Yeah.
Orbital.
Yep. And actually, even in my teacher brain right now, and you know, I've only been teaching chemistry twice, it's hard for me to like picture this, you know? Okay. Now, question number 4. How many orbitals are in each of the following sublevels? This is easy. Just how many orbitals? Remember, orbitals, they're odd. So, how many does S have? 1. Good, because we're going Spidey Fies. S, P, D, F. You start with the first one. 1. What about P? 3. D, 5, F, 7. Good. So anytime this worksheet says how many orbitals is in 3p or 4p, if they say p, who cares about the 1, 2, 3, 4? P's always have 3, okay? Or if they'll say how many electrons are in p, P's always have, good, 3 times 2, 6, good. Okay, next one. how many orbitals are in each of the following? So now they're going to ask us it in a little bit different. Ready? The 3p sublevel. It's p, so it's always, they're asking for orbitals. 3. Good. 2s sublevel. I don't care that it's 2. They said s, so it's always 1. Good. 4f. I don't care it says 4, it says f, so it has 7. Good. 5d. 5. Good. Okay, this is where it gets really exciting. Ready? Third principal energy level. So now you have to know, okay, the third energy level. So remember, the third energy level holds the first 3, S, P, and D. So now we have to add them. They're talking about the combination of the third. So if the third holds S, P, D, what's the orbitals of S plus P plus D? Orbitals.
1 plus 3 plus 9.
9. Good. So what they're saying is, how many orbitals are in the N? Well, if there's an S that has 1, if there's a P that has 3, and a D that has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it should be 9.
How's it 9?
S has 1, P has 3, D has 5.
Oh,
Were you thinking 7 too?
I was thinking 8. That was just the 5.
Okay, so now do the, okay, the fifth one, I want you to cross it out and put fourth. Just because we're not talking about fifth, we're doing fourth. So right here, so if we're doing the fourth, it has all 4, S, P, D, F.
Make sure you carry the 1 and stuff.
What'd you get?
16.
16 of them. Okay. Now, I was just asking orbitals. Now we're doing electrons. So ready? Let me erase these. Okay. What is the maximum number of electrons that each of the following can hold? 1s level. We're just talking about s's.
2.
Good. If s only has 1 and there's only 2 in it, so the max is 2. Good. 4d.
Now would we multiply that by 4?
Nope.
No. So
It's just talking about d. 10. Good. 6f. Good. 7 times 2 is 14. Good. Second energy level. So now we're talking about everything that's in the second energy level. So an S has a total of 2. A P has a total of 6. So the total number of electrons is 8. And yeah, 2 are in the first shell, 8, 18. Good. Anybody need me to do that again? Okay. Fourth energy level. Good. So this is 2, 6, 10, 14. Good. 2p sublevel. P is just 6. Good. Cross off number 7. So this is everything that could be on the quiz on Wednesday. Could y'all do that? If I helped you build this, could you answer anything on the worksheet? Okay. Because that's what I think we're going to do. We're going to end up building this so you can answer questions. You can study with it. Not, you know, you don't have to do 7.